Obviously, this is an important piece of legislation, probably something the Commonwealth should have done a long time ago. But thanks to the great leadership of Senator McEachin here and others, it actually is now law. We're going to sign it into law. Obviously, for the sake of law enforcement and everybody else, this makes so much common sense that you can voluntarily have an issue, whatever, on your license, whether it be autism or whatever it may be, voluntarily put it on your license. So to better help the law enforcement folks, to help everybody, so that what I talk about every day is keeping our communities safe and to make it easier for folks, to make us the greatest state in the United States of America. And then when a child moves into the adult stage, can voluntarily, if they want, have it taken off. So this just is another common sense thing that we need to be doing here in the Commonwealth of Virginia to make ourselves safer, better, and to protect our citizens. So I do want to thank our great congressman, and congratulations. He was the first congressman they called last night. That's what happens when you run unopposed. We were all up in Northern Virginia yesterday. But why don't I turn it over? We're greatly honored to have the Secretary of the Commonwealth, LeVar Stoney, with us.
Yes.
But, you want to say a couple words, Senator, since it's your legislation?
Well, thank you, Governor. I would like to take credit for things that I ought to take credit for, but this has really been a labor of love. And JP's mother has been a force of nature. It is no telling what a mother can do for her child when she's motivated. So, Pam, thank you for the idea. Thank you for all the pushing, polite pushing that you did. I also want to say a word of thanks to Sergeant Sutton. Your leadership in this was immeasurable, and thank you for what you've been doing even before this legislation to educate law enforcement as to the things to look for when potentially confronted with somebody who falls into the autism spectrum. So thank you for your leadership as well. And Governor, if you don't mind, I just have a feeling that Pam might want to say a word.
Fantastic. I'd be shocked if she didn't.
I can't thank you all enough for being here. This truly was a dream that came about in June 2013, and I went to the senator who took it very, very seriously, and we decided to come up with JP's law. And you know, legislation is not my thing. It's not something that I know a lot about. I don't know a lot about policies or politics, but I do love my son very much. I love all my children very much. And we really wanted to be proactive and do something that was going to be in honor of my son, not in memory of my son. I didn't want something terrible to happen and then the law get passed because something terrible happened. So I think we broke down a lot of stereotypes with JP's law. You know, now individuals who drive, who have autism spectrum disorder or intellectual disability, it is very clear that these individuals can drive, and it shouldn't be assumed that they can't. They pass the same test that everyone else does. However, when law enforcement approaches them, their response may be a little different. And now, with me being able to help out with the other law enforcement agencies and work with Chief Sheriff Sovic and with Tim Sutton and the Sheriff's Department, I'll be able to educate these officers so that they're able to look at the driver's license and learn what these codes mean. And it's not a pass. It's not a way for people with autism and intellectual disabilities to get away with stuff. It is a way for the law enforcement to know that the communication may be a little different. So their response may be a little different. And we just don't want to have, you know, terrible tragedies happen because of that. So this is it's a dream come true. And so I can't thank you all enough for being here. I thank my wonderful husband who is supportive and let me go down to the Capitol and all the testifying and everything I had to do. So he's just my everything. And my wonderful children, JP, Michelle, and Sydney, and my family, and the JP Jumpers Foundation. You guys are jumping in, and we're making a huge, huge impact on the special needs community. And it's not to do anything but raise awareness. So thank you. And Governor, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Congress, anything you'd like to add?
Just want to thank Senator Pam for your advocacy, Governor for your leadership. Sometimes small things can make a huge difference, and this is one of them, so I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you.
Secretary, anything you want to add?
I know. Governor?
Well, let's go ahead and sign the bill into law. If the sheriffs, you guys want to come around behind here, come on back to the shot here.
Chief as well.
Chief, come on over.
Law enforcement.
JP, right over here with you. You ready?
How'd you do that? How'd you do anything?
All right, there we go, folks. It's now law.